Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Steve Taylor Community Star Show. We have a very, very special guest this morning, UT Athletic Director, my brother, Mr. Bryan Blair. Bryan, how you doing, sir?
I'm living the dream. I appreciate you having me this morning.
Thank you so very much for coming in. I really, really appreciate it. You know, I went to the University of Tennessee, so I'm SEC proud, okay, all the way, even over the Big Ten. The SEC is something I dearly love and will continue to love. I have to tell you, those UT Rockets, man, I was so proud of you guys to go down to dark Mississippi, Starksville, and come away with that victory. I think the score was what,
41-17.
41-17? That, to me, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest win of the year. I have to be honest with you. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, well, it just means more, right? That's what they say. I think, one, I thought going into it, and I think we all felt confident that we've got a talented team. They're well coached and we can compete. And I thought we would compete. And honestly, I thought we'd win. What I didn't honestly realize is how we'd be able to dominate that game physically.
Yes.
From start to finish, there weren't trick plays. There weren't a bunch of turnovers. We physically beat them at their own game. And I think what jumped out at me, so our quarterback did not pass for over 300 yards.
Right.
We didn't have a wide receiver over 75 yards. We didn't have a running back over 75 yards. It was a complete team effort. Everybody did their part. There weren't one superstar running up and down the field. It was our entire team came ready to play it, and we excelled. And so it's a great building block, and then really we want to turn this moment into a movement and carry this momentum over for the rest of the season, because what this does for us, it gives us an opportunity.
Right.
There's a 12-team playoff this year, and somebody of our ilk is guaranteed one spot. And so certainly we want to be in contention for that.
Right. And what do you think it means to our community here in Toledo?
I hope everybody's walking a little taller, puffing their chest out a little bit.
I know I am.
Yeah. I think, I tell anybody, our football team, our sports teams, they don't have University of Toledo across their chest. They have Toledo across their chest. They represent something larger than just a sports team. They represent a campus. They represent a community. So I hope whether you went to the other UT or you went to Ohio State, wherever you went, you call this place home, right? And hopefully we made home proud. And hopefully people feel proud of their team and get some national recognition and buzz for what we did down there in SEC country.
Wonderful, man. Wonderful.
You and your family have come here and you've hit the ground running. I mean, I've seen a lot of ADs come and go and through the years, and different coaches come and go and whatever. Day one, you hit the ground running. It seems like you're happy, your family's happy, assimilating into this community. Tell the folks how much money that in the last 2 years, UT Athletics has brought to the Toledo community. Not to the Toledo coffers for athletics, but to the Toledo community. Because I heard that number and I couldn't believe it. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think first I'd say thank you for the comment on assimilate to the community. I think one, that says way more about this community than it does me. This community has opened their arms wide to myself and my family and said, hey, we want you to be a part of this.
Yes.
We want you to love what we love.
Yes.
We want you to call home the place that we call home. And we've just been blown away by not only the hospitality, but the potential here.
Yes.
I think experience in Toledo and Perrysburg and Maumee, we personally live in Maumee, and seeing all that it has to offer, and the great place to raise a family. So many options, but they don't have some of the problems that come with a big city, right? It's just, I tell people, smack dab in the middle of perfect. It's the perfect size, the perfect location, the perfect situation for my family and I. My wife's from Dayton, Ohio. So being close enough but not too close to our in-laws has been a really, really good mix. I think regarding your comment on the impact, so we had some consultants come in, because we always say we love our athletic department. We think it has value, but until you put numbers to it, you really don't know.
Right.
And so what we had them do is sit down and say, hey, what's our economic impact? On an annual basis, it's over $79 million a year.
Wow.
And that's heads in beds, that's gas, that's food, that's restaurant, that's the visitors that come in for athletic related events. And then from a fair market value, more or less, if the University of Toledo cut the athletic program and said, hey, we're just gonna have a marketing department, they would have to spend $81 million to replicate the exposure that we get. So you look at a win like a Mississippi State, not only for 4 hours are they talking about Toledo, right? So if you rewatch the broadcast for the second quarter through the fourth, it was all about Toledo. It was never no more talking about Mississippi State. And so you got a national audience of 72 million households hearing that message through the ESPN channels. And then take it a step further, the next morning when you look at the highlights, we get a helmet sticker on College Football Live, all those iterations, all the news stations and newspapers that now carry our brand. You got people waking up saying, Toledo, okay, I know this about Toledo, I know that. You see people walking around in airports and people say the TOL now a little bit more frequently as we get the national notoriety. And so that $79 million local impact and that $81 million fair market value, I think that's just the start of the true value of the success that we're having right now.
And people don't realize, Cross, you know this coming from Tennessee, but the young folks watching on TV, sure, kids will come and play football at UT. That's a group you're going to get, and you recruit, you do all that. But there's a much, much larger group that's Toledo. I want to go and just go to school there, live in the community, go to school there. So the value of that is unbelievable.
I think, it's no secret, certainly we're trying to grow enrollment at the University of Toledo.
Yes.
And I think athletics has an opportunity to impact that by a number of ways. One, that exposure, right? You're seeing the Toledo brand above other brands, and seeing us, quite frankly, dominate some other brands. Says, hey, well, that's something I want to be a part of. I think, two, the student experience we offer, whether it be at our basketball games or a football contest, for those students that have 4 hours and a tailgate party and the like, they have a really good time. I think that makes a difference because we talk about enrollment all the time, but really the retention is actually a cheaper way to improve your numbers than it actually is to get new students, right? So how can we give our students at the University of Toledo a standalone experience? It's not the most important part of their student experience, certainly, but it is a part that makes them feel part of something larger than themselves and binds them to the university, says, you know what, I'm having fun while getting a great education. That's our plight. That's what we're trying to do.
Spot on.
Your commitment to community, right? You are really, really connected to our community. And I just never seen anything like it, because a lot of times athletic directors are a little bit tucked away in the corner, you can't reach them. I see you literally everywhere in the community. I think the first time we met was at the African American Legacy Project, 4 or 5 years ago? And so I wanted to touch base on, where did that come from? Where did that passion for people, the community, impacting lives, where did that come from?
Yeah, I think it's my upbringing. I'm from small South Carolina, dirt roads, pine trees, and cotton fields, right? I don't know big city. All I know is you go play high school football, you go to church on Sunday, you see everybody, you're raised by a village, everybody knows everybody, so the moment you get in trouble, some neighbor down the street or somebody in the community is telling your mama on you, like that. That's what I grew up and knew, right? So to me,
so you're in double trouble.
Trouble. My mom was a middle school principal too, so I got a lot of trouble. But I think the sense of community is just something that's ingrained in me from a young age, and I tell people all the time, like when we come together, like I had to have them around dinner or something, because I just knew growing up, we'd go to church for a long time. But then after that, we'd have dinner together, and the whole community would come together and sit down and eat. And when you break bread and you have that experience, it binds you closer together. So much of who I am and what I'm about is.
So it came from your upbringing.
It did. It did. Because I think, to me, teamwork is a superpower.
Right.
And I think this community within Toledo and the broader Toledo area of Northwest Ohio is a superpower for our program. Right. If we're going to be what I think we can be, not only do we need our current level of success, we need to partner with our community even more so to elevate that success. And that's full stands, that's full ticket sales, that's donations, that's the like, because I do think we deliver a value back to the community, right? So I think if we can deliver that value back, certainly we want to extract the support from the community that we think will make us a better athletic department. Everybody wins in that equation. And I think that's the true essence to me of community. Everybody wins when we work together.
And I'm just so impressed how you not only just sit back, but you go out in the community and connect with people and organizations. So congratulations on that. That's wonderful.
I don't like sitting behind a desk. I enjoy people, and I'm a very common person. I feel like sometimes people say, oh, you're athletic. That doesn't mean anything to me. I'm Bryan. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. I'm a son. And I enjoy meeting people.
Yeah.
Tom,
Cross, you got closing remarks?
Well, I offer your great point. Watching Bryan and interacting with people, our experience many times with ADs, and nothing pejorative, but a lot of them go toward the well-heeled alumni because you got to raise money. I get all that and understand that, but sometimes they had less to do with people that weren't well-heeled, but they're avid followers of the university. You watch Bryan Cross, and he gives everybody the same welcome, whether you're worth $5 million or you're worth 10,000 if you're a UT fan, and I think that speaks volumes for Bryan, his character and who he is and representing the university. There's room for everybody under the UT umbrella. And by the way, Bryan, you've got a Darius Rucker voice. Anybody ever tell you that?
That's my guy.
You sound just like Darius Rucker. He's a great singer. But that is a great quality to have, and not everybody's got that.
Yeah, well, my wife will tell you I can't sing, so she complains about that in the car all the time. But I think I wasn't always athletic director.
Yeah.
And you notice people treat you differently when you're in this role than maybe
Right.
others. And I never want anybody I encounter to feel like they're slighted or less than.
Got it.
Because I want everybody to do their best, right?
Right.
So if your absolute best is buying a single game ticket to one game, I want you to have the best possible experience.
Right.
If it's wearing a t-shirt and being a walking billboard for our athletic department, I want you to do that. If it's giving a $5 million gift to allow us to do a building, I want you to do that. But everybody needs to do their best for us collectively to be our best version. And you can't do that if you only cater to people that just have deeper pockets, because we're not set up like that. Like, we don't have the Oregon Phil Knight model. We got one individual bankroll in the department. We need everybody in this community to play a role in our success.
Absolutely.
And I think we're built to serve everybody in the community. I think that's our institution. We're not a institution that only caters to the best of the best, right? We're about giving access and opportunity. I think the same should be true for our athletic department, and that's just a core value of how I treat it.
That's a great core value to have, Bryan.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Bryan Blair, University of Toledo Athletic Director. Thanks for coming in, man. I really, really appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me.
And you gave us some pretty great advice.
You were great. Thank you.
See you next time.